Thanks for joining us for the latest Talking Points ISE 2026. I'm joined by Paul from PTS Consulting. Welcome, Paul.
Hello there, thank you very much.
We're here to talk about young people.
Yes, absolutely.
There aren't enough of them in the AV industry. How do we fix that?
It's a good
It's
question.
a very big question.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
a good question. I think, first of all, we've got to try and make the role attractive. We've got to really sell it.
Yeah.
We've got to make it an interesting role.
It is attractive though, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
well,
the
I think
thing.
it
It's
is.
not like
I think
we're
it
not-
is, but I think it's got to have some sort of, it's got to have a means of progressing through it. It can't
Yes.
just be, you can't just sort of come to it. I mean, we ran a while ago, ran a grad scheme, and we had 6 grads at one point, and it was
Post-university?
Yes, and it was very successful actually, and at least a lot of the grads stayed for quite a while. Some moved on, obviously, but they basically were trained cross-discipline. So with PTS, we've got security, physical infrastructure, AV, smart, and the idea being that we'd move them around, and then they picked something they particularly liked.
So at some point they could choose their own path almost.
Yes, exactly. Or maybe, well, yes, and we also wanted to make people multi-skilled, so we were encouraging people to maybe have 2 roles that are sort of linked together. So like physical infrastructure was one, networking.
Is that a tricky thing to run? Because obviously you've got a day job, right? And it's not that. So is that where one of the problems maybe lies? You need someone to run it maybe or oversee it?
Yeah, if you're a big company, it's obviously you've got resources to do it. We're a medium-sized company. It is difficult. You've got to get a few people to buy into it. We had a guy who ran the training a few years ago, and he was the sort of focus point, which was great.
Yeah,
because it really sort of pushed it on. But I think you've really got to sort of think about the structure of it, how you're going to do it.
Yeah.
If you're going to sell the idea of it, are you going to go out to universities? Do you want to get a grad? Do you want to get a apprentice? What's your sort of focus?
There's a manpower investment there, isn't there?
Yes,
for someone to oversee that.
Yes, there is.
You maybe can't afford, or you don't have the time to even recruit them, or maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the case of the way we did it was you had to really sort of get a mentor, you had to get the team behind it to sell the idea. You had to spread. I mean, it was great actually having people attached to different teams, because it just broadened their knowledge, and it made it really useful for us as well, because then we could use those people. And
this program, has it been repeated or has it been paused?
We did it twice. Or? No, we haven't done it recently. Yeah.
Because of the manpower thing?
Yes.
Or
yeah.
I guess you all the consultants I know are dead busy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And you want to train somebody, you want to train them well.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get somebody in who is basically doing all the sort of jobs that nobody else wants to do. You really want to encourage them to sort of, become part of it. And you've just got to accept that you're not going to be able to. In our case, you can't really always bill that time initially. You've got to have maybe a 6-month period where you can't bill that time.
It's frustrating, isn't it? Because it feels like the desire's there. It's just the logistics of it maybe are proving difficult.
Yeah, I think so. I think you've got to go with your eyes open. But I think it's possible. I mean, we certainly want to do it again.
Were you, when you did you said it ran it twice, were you looking at like people post-university?
Yes, they were.
Yeah, okay. Do you think that's the right age to get them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're after the right person, aren't you, really? You're not particularly after, because you can teach skills.
Yeah.
We did it post-grad, but I don't see any reason why we couldn't do it as like an apprentice scheme.
Yeah.
That's quite attractive, I think, really.
A phrase you hear a lot is, I fell into AV, right? A lot of people have got that. Do you still hear that? Do you still think that's prevalent, really, rather than I've followed a path to get to
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think a lot of people come through an audio background, probably.
Yeah.
And they fall into it because they're interested in it.
Sure.
So maybe they don't, but they maybe don't have the right training or the best training possible. But I mean, I think I'd be keen for us to do it again and get out there to the universities and the technical colleges and find people who are keen to do it. Yeah.
I mean, final question, Paul. Do you think that it would work better if there was, a consortium of consultants maybe that came together and not launched a training scheme, but got together and tried to, or the integrators got together, or manufacturers or distributors, or do you think there'd be power in that collective?
I think it's a good idea, actually. I was thinking about that. I think it probably would be difficult to get a.
It's hard again. It's time. One person has to start that, right?
Exactly.
And
but I think if you've got a if you've got a sort of group of consultants, it might not work because there's probably sort of different interests at play there.
Okay,
but
we're fighting for the same talented
exactly.
youngsters.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but I think a sort of, an integrator, a consultant, a manufacturer would be a good combination actually.
Yeah.
And then you've just got to accept that. Well, it's down to you to sell it, isn't it? If you sell it well, then they're going to come and work for you.
Sure.
So I think that's a very good idea, actually. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Paul, it's been great talking to you. Thanks for your insights. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much. Pleasure.